He's gone as well.
Good morning and welcome to Blabbing for Britain, episode 73. It's Thursday, it's 10 o'clock, and I want to say good morning to Stephen. Good morning, Stephen.
Good morning, Stephen. Morning, Peter. Morning, John. Can't see
morning,
John.
Peter. Morning, John. And I'm going to throw the cat amongst the pigeons to start off with, because I'm going to go down into the producer's seat, bring John up. And our topic to begin with is General Election 2017. And Stephen, you conducted a poll on Twitter.
I did. It was fantastic. I just put it out there a few moments after the election was called, and I managed to get 73 people voting, which isn't that bad for a poll. And dead heat between Labour and the Conservatives. Completely unscientific, but you know, how many polls are very accurate these days? But I'm going to do one a day, I think, between now and then, between now and the election, and see what's going on. I put one up yesterday asking if people thought that Prime Minister May had lied when she talked about not doing an early election, and whether people cared. So we'll see how that happens. But I did think that we ought to do a Blabbing for Britain election special once a week between now and the election. Maybe Peter and I could have a bit of fun there. But I tried it out and it seemed to work. Got a bit of content. I actually reached out to Peston and Laura Koonsberg on Twitter, but they haven't come back to me yet. So we shall see. Pete, how do you feel about it?
Well, I think she's made a very good move, because too much, not enough majority, too much sniping from the sides, too much people, oh, we should have done this. You've got to go for it, stand there and say, right, you elect me or not, this is what your chance is. If you want to stay out, this is your chance. Get in there, elect us, let's get it sorted out properly. And we don't want to hear your continual moaning, it should have been this way. Because if it had been the other way around, a stay in, there wouldn't have been such the same campaign for us to do this again. And it's just the Ramonas, she's had to do it because of the Ramonas crying in their soup because they can't take a beating. That's why.
So you agree?
Of the Ramonas!
In her self-interest, in the Tory self-interest, they've done it then. Bugger all to do with the nation's well-being. It's all about the Tories. Again, like the Brexit vote was all about the bloody Tories.
No, but you've got to take this for a woman that voted really for not coming out. She's took on that responsibility, right? She's been put in the frame for it and said, right, I didn't vote for it, but let's make the best of it that we can, right? And now it's conviction for you. It's not.
How does calling an election help that situation? How does it make a difference?
Because there are too much. She needs to have that majority rule to get on with it for the country's sake, and make sure that she gets the best deal coming out without whingers in the.
No, I think this is a real opportunity.
Answer the question, Pete. How does a general election change the strength of the leadership that we're going to get? And how the hell is it going to make a bloody difference to the negotiation? Come on.
We'll go in stronger with their own government.
Right.
Government of a ruling party going to poor John got kicked off. He didn't even get
John will be back in a minute. I just want to make one point, and this is my point. That Theresa May was not elected as Prime Minister. She doesn't have a man. I've got an echo.
Echo.
And John's talking, and we can't hear him, or we can hear him, and it's causing a problem in my headphones. Theresa May did not get elected by the people. That's point number one. She doesn't have a mandate from the people to be Prime Minister. Normally, when we have a Prime Minister, they are elected. The second thing is, and I'm going to put the cat amongst the pigeons here, the reason she had to call an election is not because of anything that the other parties had done, but the simple fact that there are rebels in the Tory party She wants to get the programme through. She wants to go for her version of Brexit, and she doesn't want anybody to stop her. So she needs a larger majority in Parliament so that if there is anybody in the Tory party who wants to vote against her, they can do so because she doesn't care. She wants more MPs.
Well,
my 2 cents.
What I would say about that is the people don't vote for the Prime Minister.
Very true, very true.
They vote for the party that they want to lead Britain. Then the party elect their member. So to say she wasn't elected is not true. She has been elected by her party who elect the leader. So it's total rubbish to say that she has not been elected.
Has no mandate from the people, Peter.
No.
Gordon Brown didn't have a mandate either.
The people didn't say we are voting for this leader.
Pure party political act. I don't blame her. I did the same thing, but just recognise it for what it is.
Let's let John in and have a bit of a say.
Oh, great. 7 minutes into the show and all I've said is hello.
Get on with it.
I think this is a real opportunity for the Lib Dems. The Conservatives won my seat where I live back by a very slim majority last time round, and there's been a really big moaning about how ineffective Julian Knight, our current MP, is. And the neighbouring place is called Yardley, and that was taken from the Lib Dems by Labour's Jess Phillips, who's turned out to be a loudmouth yobbo. And loads of people are demanding their Lib Dem MP back.
Wow, didn't know that. I thought she came across very well when she's been on Panorama a couple of times, putting like the sort of what shall I say? She's a woman.
Maybe she behaves better on TV, but she genuinely is a yobbo.
Okay, perhaps that's what we need. And where's Pete gone? And
I think Pete went to the door. He made the take me off sign.
I get a chance to speak. Right.
So I'm looking for a Lib Dem revival.
I think I agree with you there, John. I think that they're the Tories want out, Labour want out, and a new party saying that we should get the deal of a soft Brexit, where we're still part of the financial side of the EU, and the market is there for us. I go with their view on that. Your take, Stephen?
The Brexit thing is really going to have an influence on it, because there are pure Brexit areas like Stoke, which have been Labour for as long as there's been a party, but Labour have got the whole area is against. It's for Brexit, and I think that will influence the Labour vote around here. So there's the same thing happening in the remaining constituencies, and if there's a Conservative there, I don't know what effect that's going to have, but I do think the Brexit situation will influence politics during the next 5 weeks. So I think that much like the Trump election was a shock, and indeed the Brexit was a shock, because they weren't finding representatives. I think that this could be a similar thing, and I think it could be. Oh, you hear me?
Well, now we can hear you, but you sound like you've got the frog in the throat this time.
Switch me out for a minute, Stephen.
And Peter, we can't hear at all. No.
I don't know. Peter, your sound's gone. Your sound's gone.
You need to put new batteries in. No,
Right.
still can't hear you, Peter.
Okay.
Hang on, let's get rid of my.
Hello, Stephen.
Ping.
Right. Okay. We're going to have one of those mornings. I can see it. I'm fuzzy. The sound is crackling. Peter's gone, and hopefully he'll come back in a minute. It's a bit like politics, really, isn't it? It's coming and going. I mean, there's that many elections going on. You know, when you normally have an election, you've got two parties with their policies laid out, and you know what's going on. But as you just said, Stephen, this is all being overshadowed by Brexit, and we don't give a arse about anything else. It's just
How it's
public on Facebook, isn't it? I just
give an arse.
it is just a crazy situation. I mean, we've not got the manifestos yet, so we don't know what's going on. But I think there's a sense of frustration in the country that we're having another election, and we've got people on opposite sides. So, I don't know. I mean, it's a country divided, isn't it?
Well, and there's sort of three levels of dividedness. There's the sort of, let's say, the ins and the outs, and then there's the don't give a audience, so to speak. Because youngsters that I meet just don't care. You know, it doesn't affect. Well, it would appear not to affect them, and what they do, they've written off the political class as just being completely bloody useless.
So what's going to happen in Scotland, Peter?
Well, can you hear me first of all?
Yeah, can hear you.
Right. Interesting. I'm just going to bring that up, but I will be interested to see how many SNP people will not be in Westminster after the vote, because it's not going the way they wanted, and I think you'll see some people getting voted out. Yeah?
Right.
Well, you've got 56 members in Parliament, Westminster. I don't think we'll have 56 this time around, because I was sitting in a cafe the other day and there was four people, just an average sitting there, was chatting, and everybody said they were getting fed up by Nicola Sturgeon, always wanting to go for that referendum. And sitting in that cafe, the four have all said they will not vote SNP. And I thought that was quite amazing. You know, it's just a four of you sitting there. Because it's not all a bed of roses up here at the moment, you know. And so that'll be different. But I think they'll still get, the Liberals actually could do well better here now. The Liberals. And there's actually a few UKIP supporters as well. But they didn't say that they're members of UKIP.
That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah. So you'll get a lot of silent voters. And no, I think this is a Maggie Thatcher too. And what she's done is she's struck there when she knows that the Labour Party is in turmoil, and
here we go.
Jeremy Corbyn's a problem for them. He will not be there by the end of the year, I can guarantee you that. He will be ousted. Yeah.
Did you see Symes is for Scotland?
Who's?
Peter Symes is a prospect networking group member that splash water training things. He's forecast that the Conservatives will double the number of MPs in Scotland.
Oh, from 1 to 2?
From 1 to 2, that is, by the way. And Labour will lose all of their MPs in Scotland.
How many have they got?
One.
We used to be a Labour-dominated country, so where has that vote went? Where has the vote went? It probably went to the SNP, but as I said, it's not all a bed of roses. Quite conveniently, Nicola has put two policies aside just now. The Named Person Act, ban. It's been, we won't deal with that for a couple of years now because it's a big headache for them, and also the education or 10th or something like that, and that's been conveniently put away. Yeah, so it's quite interesting, the politics of it all.
But with Scotland having Nicola Sturgeon in charge and 56 of 59 MPs, she's got the opportunity to make the general election about what she wants it to be about. She can steer the agenda in Scotland her way, one would imagine, but I don't know what her way is going to be.
They abstained yesterday, didn't they?
Sorry?
The 56 SNP MPs abstained in yesterday's vote for the general election in the Houses of Parliament.
Well, they're very much ruled by the whip down there. And some of them had the audacity to actually vote for Brexit. And they weren't meant to. No, they weren't very happy. And there was a chap called Jim Stewart, I don't know if you've heard of him. He used to be, I think he was head SNP at one time. And Jim Stewart, he says, an SNP man said, you want us to come out of Britain so we can then be ruled by Brussels? You are not on. So there's a split in the SNP as well just now.
Which all goes to what you were saying earlier. It actually could be anybody's election. You know, still tuck it up there.
I predict a Conservative landslide.
Well, across the UK?
Well, UK as a whole. Don't try and mix it up, Scott. We're now the United Kingdom again. We had a vote for it, so we're still the United Kingdom. And if they say the vote's in, no point doing it this area voted that. United Kingdom has said.
So you're saying that she's going to go from 11 majority. Oh, so what's your prediction for the election then, Peter?
I think the Tories will get a landslide.
Which is how many majority?
Pardon?
How many seats majority do you predict?
I don't know, but she's going to get enough that she rules it. And remember this, anybody that's listening, anybody that's listening in, and you've got an MP that voted against your Brexit, against the will, because some people actually voted not Brexit when they wanted Brexit, especially Labour. Remember that. Just remember that. Get them out, because they never had the will of the local people. Get them out. John, you were spinning.
John, what do you think is going to be because our Scottish brain is frit of answering the question, a bit like he's.
I think she's going to have a massive majority of around 50.
50, okay. I'll prompt for a majority of about 40.
But I also think there will be so many Labour losses that there won't be just 50 Conservative reassurances, if you like. I think there'll be some significant losses in the Labour Party, and I think there'll be some really good gains from the Lib Dems.
So how many? So if you like, let's say you think Labour.
Well, the Lib Dems have currently got 8 seats.
How many will they end up?
I'm thinking they'll have there at 25.
Around 25. Yeah, I Willow, is that me or?
Right, I think we've got an echo on Peter because the echo's gone now, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Peter, right, I'll bring you back in a second. You can't hear an echo, but we could, because you've got your headphones on. Them's the rules.
Is it revolting?
Okay, right, okay. Now, just to take John's point, I think 9 Lib Dem MPs at the moment. I think right, okay. It depends on the structure they've got in place at the moment and how many candidates they can actually put up. Yeah, as to give people a choice between the two well, the two ways of leaving Europe or leaving the EU, and Lib Dems represent one, and the Conservatives and Labour represent the other.
No,
And if the Lib Dems,
that's not true.
right, I'm going to be right. Okay, that's good.
There's nobody. You can't actually quantify what a hard Brexit, a soft Brexit, or a no deal, or a this deal, or a that deal. It's just unknown. You can't know it. You don't even know what's going to happen as a result of the. I mean, if she gets a 40 majority, so bloody what? She's still in the same position she is now with the Europeans. Yes, she'll have a bit more of a handle on her own party, and remember that's the reason that she's going for it, because of her weakness within the Conservative Party, like Cameron was. So, I guess that the idea about why you should vote for a particular party, it's just gone out the window. That's right, it's gone out the window. And Labour will try and focus on the NHS and all of the, should we say, the stuff that they usually focus on.
Yeah.
But whether that'll work, whether they'll be able to sort of address, whether that's the right thing to address, we won't know till after. But I don't see how anybody can claim.
I don't think NHS is even relevant to this.
Oh, it will be, John. It will be. It's the only reason the guy Snell won here.
It's the same as Brexit. It's going to be immigration.
Wow.
It's still the hottest topic round here.
But nationwide, the NHS is the big thing. As I said, I mean, amongst the youngsters, they don't give a monkeys about politics in general. But when you ask them about the NHS, oh yeah, they're quite interested in that because it's about them. They, apart from sort of general loathing of the political class.
Right. Okay.
I mean, my daughter will express an interest in the NHS because she's an employee. But if I spoke to two boys,
I think that we have to wait for the manifestos to come out and see what the political parties think they're going to fight on, because there's enough to divide the nation in this, and it's the whole name of the game is to get sufficient majority in Parliament to actually get through this, and that's it. That's my take. And we'll see if Peter's got his sound, got his echo.
I see some losses for the Conservatives. I see Vince Cable getting Richmond back.
My God.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you beautifully.
Yeah, and he's only got one ear in there, so he can hear his own echo.
Yeah. So, do you think it was me that it was causing the echo?
Yes.
Well, as soon as you were taken down, there was no echo, so sadly, I'm afraid.
Stephen was still echoing to me. Hey. Anyway, technical. That's the bugbear of my life. Anyway, so, yeah. So
have we done enough on the general election? 25 minutes worth.
Yeah, that's enough. Let's talk something else. Changing
standards in school.
Oh.
I don't know if anybody saw the BBC thing I posted on my thread on Facebook. But a lad's got banished from class because he's had his long hair shorn off for charity. And his hair that he had before would have been considered the extreme haircut when I went to school.
Yeah.
And his haircut post having it shorn off for charity would have been considered the ideal haircut when I went to school. Mm-hmm. But he's been banned from classes for 4 days because he had his hair sheared off for charity. Cancer. His mate has got cancer.
What has that got to do with him taking the education through his ears? He could actually hear better now.
To me, it's the idiot that's running the school. I'm afraid I'd consider him to be an idiot.
Yeah.
He can't be called the head teacher. He can't be called the headmaster. He's got to be called a principal.
Yes. No.
Well, you ought to follow a principle and resign, because it's bloody nonsense. My grandson's just started school, and he had a sort of razor cut. Not a problem at all. Christ, it's just pathetic.
Well, the kid's been banned from school for 4 days.
Shouldn't be the same. Lessons banned or unpaid for 4 days. That's rubbish.
No, I've seen this happening quite a few times, and it's just okay. A school uniform. If the policy is to wear a school uniform, wear the school uniform. But that's there here, right? It's there here. Is it a man or a woman principle? I don't know.
Oh, it's a man. It's a man.
It's a man. Well, if I was a kid, I'd say, sir, that's a bloody terrible haircut. You want to sue your barber. The first haircut he gets. and what has that got to do with education? The kid's expressing himself, and he's also helping somebody else. So I think, well, for the first time ever, we're all in agreement.
Sack him! Sack him!
Right. Okay.
Talking of barbers, just completely going off the subject.
There is something. There is something. If you want to take your kids out of school to go on holiday, get them to have a skinhead cut a few days before, get barred from school, job done.
Yeah.
He hasn't actually been barred from school. He's been barred from lessons, and has to sit on his own.
What?
Yeah, he will be given individual tuition, which is going to cost the school even more money.
Absolutely.
Bonkers.
Madness. Anyway, what I was going to say was talking about barbers. In one of the Facebook groups I belong to, we all post the things that we're working on and pictures that we're making and artwork we're doing for people. And yesterday, one of the guys posted, well, he's calling it an A-frame, but it's not an A-frame because it's only one vertical, of a job he's done for a barber's. And it says haircuts from £10. And then underneath that, it says subject to terms and conditions. And I'm just wondering, which barbers have you ever been in that has terms and conditions?
Never seen that before. Yeah.
It just made me laugh. You know, one of those things that just makes you have a laugh.
There's have you heard of Barber? They're in Manchester and Leeds, and I think somewhere in London now. It's one of these sort of, it's almost like a gentleman's club. You walk in and there's always a bloody queue, but you can actually have a drink first, you know, because it takes so long to get done. And I think a haircut was about 25 quid or something like that. Now, apparently for the ladies, he's off again. Oh, no, he's not. For the ladies, that's kind of nothing, isn't it? Because they spend hundreds of pounds on their hair. But I thought that was it's a good cut for sure. But no, I just go around the corner to my mates. Around the corner from ours, and £9.
£9.95 my cut was last week.
Peter?
Right.
How much is a haircut where you live, Pete?
It's £10.50 for my haircut.
It comes in at cheap again.
Scotland, the pockets are not deep.
My barber's been taken over by women. There's about 4 spaces and we get one now. Three women have moved in. Yeah, so...
segregation then, Peter, or you're against it?
Yeah. Segregation as a barrier between us. There is a barrier. Oh, a woman in there getting her hair done. Right. Okay. Barbers. Now, what I wanted to talk about is a little chap, and it's the theme of haircuts. And it's a guy in North Korea.
Oh, everybody must have my haircut.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think his barbers would be the worst words that he would hear ever? When he takes it and he puts it around and he says, "What do you think, sir?" And he goes, "I don't like it." But going all serious, don't you think he's pushing everybody a bit? Even Japan and these places, just pushing it a little bit with all these tests and these little threats.
I think China involved soon.
In what way?
I think they'll go over their border.
Really?
Yeah.
That's quite interesting to hear that, because I thought they were the best of mates. Do you think that
they're not the best of mates? They do trade together, and there's a lot of business done. But the problem is, as John says, you can't hear me.
I can hear you perfect.
We can hear you. Yeah.
All right.
Please scratching my ear.
It's okay. I can see Stephen, and Stephen's signalling something, and I'm just throwing my thought on this live video. I want to get back to
even not fuzzy. You're even very clear, Stephen.
Well, I technically, just on a technical point for a moment, what I actually did was I was able to leave the broadcast altogether and come back. Anyway, back to North Korea, which is the point that you made, Peter. We have to be a little bit worried because nobody, well, apart from Mr. Trump, President Trump, who's threatened them, they've been left alone to do their own thing, and they are developing nuclear weapons.
Yes.
And nobody's doing anything to stop them. The Chinese are being pressured to do it because they're the ones who've got the big trade relationship, and North Korea would possibly have a lot of problems if China wasn't good friends with them.
Okay.
And they've just been left to it. They can now reach, we're told, and this may be fake news, but they now have missiles which can reach America.
Yes.
So on that note, I'm going to try and find out what Stephen was trying to tell me a moment ago. I'm going to go down again and bring Stephen back.
Okay. We'll wait for Stephen.
Hey, Stephen, are you there?
I'm here.
Come in, Stoke. Come in, Stoke.
Well, I'm here in Stoke, and it's nice and windy. Stephen, you were echoing for a fair bit, and I've just seen for the first time that we get counted down to coming back on live, don't we? 3, 2, 1 thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that went live during last week's show.
Oh, well, I didn't see it. So
No, we didn't see it till afterwards, but it actually went live during the show, which is why we had a couple of stutters.
North Korea.
Well, I can't hear Peter now.
I can't hear you, Pete. You're gone again. Should have put gold top batteries in. Have we done North Korea?
No, I think I'm about to get questioned by our Scottish friend.
Well, when he comes back, he's left us. He'll be back in a minute.
Go, man.
All right, can I change the topic then?
Of course you can. Yeah.
The 13 most unhappy places in Great Britain. And number 1 is Corby, which is full of Scots, by the way, because lots of Scots came down to Corby because of the steel. But you know where the 3rd most unhappy place is in England? And it's appropriate that our leader is in. It's Burnley.
Woo.
Burnley? What's wrong with Burnley?
Apparently they're all unhappy because of the level of unemployment more than anything.
No, this is a tale of one town and 2 stories, because for the last year they've been saying that Burnley is the most technologically successful town almost in the UK.
Well, this is yet another BBC survey.
Oh, right, okay. Pinch of salt then.
The most interesting factor, taking Burnley out of the equation, is that of the 13, 5 places are in Lancashire.
It's grim up north.
Well, I'm down south now, but
well, we know you've escaped.
Well, I went from Burnley to Stratford-on-Avon and now down to Devizes, which is one of the best 15 tourist destinations for coaches in the UK. No, I mean, the thing is with Lancashire historically, going back to the 60s, I mean, it's been it was the cotton industry that fired Lancashire, and the mills on the canals Leeds-Liverpool Canal, fired a lot of industry. And in the 60s, a lot of people came over from Pakistan and from India and settled in the town. About half the population of Burnley is of foreign origin. Well, we all are, but I mean, you know what I mean. Coloured population.
It's the smallest town in the UK with a Premier League football club.
You mentioned football, John. Now we only need 5 points to stay up. And on that note, I'm going to bring Peter back up because he's dying to have a go.
Aberdeen. Nope. Well, if he's coming back, it must be Dusty Binning. 3, 2, 1.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, we can.
Oh, what a day it's been. You know, phones and everything. It's mud, I haven't ignored them, but I've done it. Right, anyway, we've moved on from football. Hey, just...
is it true that we've got to call you Sid now?
Why Sid?
Sid, as in Sid Little?
What was that for my glasses or something?
No. The Little and Large show from the networking earlier this week.
Did you see my guy at work's from there?
Yeah, he's a good foot taller than you, isn't he?
He's 6'4". No, I'll tell you what I'm doing at my network next week. In my network, we're only getting 4 minutes instead of 10 minutes. We're so big, we'll fight to half the time, basically. So next week, I'm taking my 2 employees in, I'm standing in there, and I'm going to meet the employee as part of it. And they're going to be dressed, one's going to be dressed up in the uniform, I'm going to explain the uniform. But that's the one that looks like Norman Wisdom. So I said, you've got to be a lookalike to be in my business. Obviously me with the George Clooney look. And then I'll say, obviously, this is Willie that looks like Norman Wisdom. And actually, Gordon was upset because I says, do you know who you might look like? He says, well, I've been told that I look.
You've gone again. We don't know.
I'm back.
You're back.
I'm back. Right, okay. Yeah. So I says to Gordon, who do you think you look like? And he says, well, I've been told I look like Quentin Tarantino. And I looked at him and I goes, no, you're a very tall Mr. Bean.
You had to see these two standing next to each other. It was incredible, honestly. This was on a live Facebook Live video.
Yes.
Honestly, it was little and large, to say the least.
Oh, certainly a little and large. It is funny because there's a picture of me on small ladders to get a ladder off the roof of the van, and he's standing there and he reaches it without a ladder. very, very handy. And then we've got a new contract where we're going around cleaning a lot of fly killers. And I says, I'll put Gordon on it specifically because they mentioned health and safety. I says, well, he won't be going up a step ladder. He can reach him from where he is. Great. So, incidentally, do you think that those little Facebook lives they do are quite helpful then?
I didn't do anything with that one, but the one where you sat in the car and told people how to do the elevator type speech, if you like.
Yes.
45 seconds instead. I thought that was great, and I shared that in several groups.
Well, thank you for that. So I'm getting them onto the talking meter as well. I'll tell them more. But yeah, that's been fantastic. Yeah, right. So what's next?
Well, we've talked over Steve, and so let's ask him what he'd like to talk about.
Yes.
What's new in Stoke?
Lots of stuff about the bid, the 2021 culture bid. We're still going for that, obviously. I think the actual bid itself goes in at the end of April, so not far away. But lots of people talking about it at networking events, and we've got, I don't know if I told you, but I'd do a networking event called Breakfast at the Brewery. The Titanic Brewery in Burslem, which is about 5 miles away from where I am. There's people turning up at 7 a.m. for a networking event. But it's a kind of social thing as much as anything else, although we don't actually have any beers. It's not allowed, especially at that time of day. But we've got the guy in charge of who's a leading light in the bid coming up to see us. And can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
It's all going a bit weird here. In fact, the battery's going to go in a minute. Cool. Apart from what else is Stoke? I don't know.
I gather you went to the Waterford, Wedgwood, whichever way around it is, museum today.
World of Wedgwood. It's an absolutely and I've lived in Trent and Stoke for about 40 years and never been to Wedgwood, but I have now, and it's the most marvellous place. I mean, I haven't been there for a long time, but in my employment before I went self-employed, I used to be the account manager on their IT side for Platinum Technology. Yeah. So I used to visit there fairly regular. We went for a coffee a couple of weeks back, and I do these mobile forms and apps and what have you.
Forms of joy.
Screams of joy. Yeah. Well, the girl was coming. In fact, the young man was coming to take our order, and they've got one of those little notepaddy things. Those little pieces of paper. Take your order, sir. Give it to the chef or the barista. And I'm thinking, why are you still using paper? Because I hate paper forms. They're just anathema to me. But we shall see. That's me. That's the update from Stoke, John. Where's Steve if you need it? I'm going to have to... Stephen, can you come back on and get rid of me because I've got to go and get a power lead.
Okay. Yeah, well, going back to that lady, that meeting I was at yesterday, John, she's built up, I think, a Grampian Business Finder, and it's people come on and ask, they're looking for her. She's built up 6,000 people and on it, and in a roundabout way, she's a relative of mine, but not direct. And I said, you've got all those people. How are you going to start making money from this now? Because she's got her own little marketing business. So she started doing monthly events, and then the next thing suggested is do. So that's actually the business traders and everything meeting one another, which is fine. People do business with that. And the next step is a Saturday morning. I would suggest her to come on and meet. So I'd say we pay £50 each. We'll have a little stand in a room, where I pull up, a pop-up, and then the public can come in free to meet us, or they may pay £3 or something like that, I don't know. What's your views on the public paying to get in?
I think that if you do something for free, it is treated as having no value.
Okay. Yeah.
Even if you only charge them £1, and they pay in advance, they're more likely to turn up than if you say, "Here's a free event."
Right. Okay. And even if, what do you think of having people, maybe 2 throughout the morning, allowed to come up and talk about their business for extra money? So they get the chance to talk about their business in front of the crowd.
Okay, I'll go with charging, but first of all, you've got to prove value. And you've got to have a couple of trial runs so that you know how many people are going to come along.
Yes.
And those can be free, and you need to know how sticky those people who are connected to it are and whether they're willing to turn out. Once you know that, then you can go with this is my thoughts, just go with the formula and charge.
Yeah, the problem is in Aberdeen, if you let them in free once, they want it free all the time because they'll say, what? £3? You never charge this blasting. Yeah. So what they could actually do is say it's a £5 or something, but you get a coffee. Yeah, I don't know.
We did a couple of things which we called Solihull Business Showcase. The first one was terrific. The second one was hard work getting people back.
And why was that?
Because it was free.
Wow, interesting.
It went really well the first time because it had newness, novelty value, whatever you want to call it. Yeah?
Yeah.
The second time, 2 months later, people came, but only half the number that came to the first one.
Right, yeah. Because
when you ask people why, they said, well, I I didn't think it'd be up to much because it was free. And that was what people honestly said.
Okay, quite right, okay. So if she says, right, you're going to come, there's going to be 60 exhibitors, you can come and chat to. They're going to have a little, not a pop-up stand and a little table, just a little table, and you can come and meet them, but they pay for it to come and see them.
The timing is the issue. Who is the target market is the question for each of your 60 exhibitors, if you like.
Yeah.
And if it's general public or small businessmen, they've got better things to do on a Saturday morning.
Okay. Well, it's general public. It's general public who are coming to meet the people that go on to it. It's called Grampian Business Finders, and I've had work off it. What they do is they just throw it in, I am looking for, and then people recommend, and then if it's me, I phone them and get in touch with them right away. So yeah, so it's just a matter of interest to see, because the problem is if she charges people to come to it, no, if she gets the exhibitors to put on a stand and nobody turns up, they're going to be crying because nobody's turned up.
So what you have to do is throw the onus down. You have to say, as part of the deal, you must get 5 visitors.
Right, okay, interesting. Yeah, I'll pick that up. Yeah, very good. Right, anyway.
So if you have 60 people and they each organise 5 attendees,
yeah,
300 visitors.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you say 20% fail to turn up, you've still got over 200 visitors.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Smashing. Thanks for that, John. Much appreciated.
Smashing, great.
I'll pass that on to you. Right. Stephen's still there.
Yeah, I'm still here. I was just letting you two chat and taking a breather for a moment. I'm hoping Stephen's coming back.
Right.
Now, in BeLive news this week, there is going to be a pro version, which Peter and I are looking forward to, with the ability to share slides, which is wonderful, and the ability to white label, so that we can take, if we wish, take the BeLive.tv off and put the Talkinator on there, and have it appear on it's watermarking all the video then, which is absolutely brilliant. And the event of the week was on Monday when the BeLive TV weekly show had a live audience of 15,500 people, which for a company-sponsored event was quite brilliant. And we're getting told what the figures were as time went on, 1,000, 10,000, 15,000. But you just cheaters, are you chatting to Jeff and there's no problem at all. But it does bode well for the future of live video and BeLive.tv in particular, that 15,000 people watch the show. And when we get to 15,000 on Blabbing for Britain, we too can celebrate. So that's the BeLive.tv news. Slides should be out in a week or so. We're limited screen yet. If you want to know anything about what's happening on BeLive, then we did have, Linda and I had a chat with Safria, the Chief Technical Officer, and if you watch that video as Peter was there live, you will be able to find out exactly what BeLive are up to, how excited they are, and how excited we should be as well. And also, Corinda had a chat with Allegra on Smile Time yesterday. He interviewed her, and they have had things planned too, one of which hopefully, Peter, is stability, because we both went on there, and it was coming and going. So stability is the key. Right, John, any story from the Midlands this week that you want to go with? I'm hoping Stephen comes back in a sec. Good, right, okay.
My story was from Cornwall, which was the hare.
All right, okay. In that case, I want to bring Stephen up because I just want to talk about something for next week. Now, it has to be said. Stephen.
I think you left.
No, he came back. I saw him. I can. All right. Okay. I can see you, Stephen, but I can't see you.
I can't see it at all.
I could for a second there. If you can refresh, Stephen, and then come back, I'll bring John back up for the moment. I think we've got a ghost in the machine, and Stephen, if you want to refresh and come back.
3-2-1 makes me think of Dusty Bin every time it happens.
3-2-1.
Yeah, but it just give you a chance to get ready. And
I know. But
you've got 3 seconds to get ready. That's the hand signal, Peter. That's how it used to be back in the day. I mean, those replays are still going, aren't they? Not that I've caught any of them. I did catch. I think Stephen's on his other camera. I did catch Bullseye the other day with Jim Bowen, and that brought back memories.
Yeah.
You can't beat a bitter bully. Anyway,
no.
Change the topic totally. Stephen was there. He's gone again.
He's gone. He's gone. I can't see him.
You can't see. Well, I can see the lobby below.
All right.
And he did come back, and I think he changed camera or changed his angle. But I just would like to bring him up for a moment. Right. Okay. So we've done politics. We've done hair. We've done North Korea. Now we need something a little bit light-hearted. So has anybody got anything light-hearted to share?
Well, there's Harriet the Blues, isn't there? You know, Harry takes over Birmingham City.
Well, yeah, he likes a challenge, doesn't he? And he's got an impossible challenge. He's got to win all the rest of the matches.
No, he only needs 1 win and a draw. 4 points is all he needs to guarantee out of a possible 9.
Okay.
He's not being paid to do the job. That's the other interesting thing.
Oh, right. Okay.
He's doing the job only expenses, but he gets a fat bonus if they stay up.
Right. Okay.
But if he doesn't keep them up, he gets nothing.
No win, no fee.
Yeah, well, it said I don't know if you saw the interview, but on the local news last night they interviewed him, and he said it was a massive change for him because the weekend before he'd been teaching under 10s, coaching under 10s, the local park.
Yeah.
Right. So
it seems. Yeah, sorry, Peter.
So you're on about funny, right? Something like into it. Every morning when I want to cheer myself up, I go onto YouTube, and my partner knows the things that I watch, and I watch a video about newscasters, and it's about look it up. It's about a lady, these catwalk women, the young girls that do the catwalk. Well, this lady trips on big platform shoes, and she trips and she trips. And if you want a belly laugh, I suggest you look it up, right? Model falling on catwalk. And boy, is it a funny video. And it really brightens up my day. It's not so much her falling to maintain her dignity, it's the newscasters laughing. They're really, and I think that having a good laugh first thing in the morning is funny. And I quite enjoy it. And it's a good start to the day, a bit of laughter. Because I don't like being dreary.
I know what you mean. Right, okay. Yeah, we've sort of been overtaken by the politics this week. We've done the tech. Right, okay. Now, this week, we probably have missed, I missed a lot of it, and that is F8 this week. Now, what is F8, you ask? Well, F8 is the Facebook Developers Conference, where Facebook developers from all around the world get together and listen to what Facebook are actually going to do. And one of the things that they're working hard on, which Mark Zuckerberg has invested everything, well, not everything, but some of his money in, is VR. What's your take on virtual reality, John? Right, okay, that's John. Peter.
I was more interested in his brain computer that he has announced. But,
tell us more.
They've announced that they're developing a system that can read your thoughts and type them for you. So you only have to think your Facebook entry and it will type it for you.
I like that. Can it read a Scottish mind?
No. Can anybody read a Scottish mind? That's the big question.
going on to VR, I watched a video of an old woman dying, and someone put a VR on her, and she was able to visit places that she'd never done in her life.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
And she was lying in her deathbed, and she was able to visit these places, and boy, did that get to me. She'd seen places and the colours, and she was there. No, and I thought it was absolutely fantastic that they could go and visit. So VR is the future. I mean, absolutely. But I've been using VR. I used to go into doing, I used to do a tank simulator and also a flight simulator, and sitting in a cockpit with a cap and a VR thing, and every time I moved, and I would look out the window of the aeroplane when I banked, and you'd look above you and you'd see the cockpit. It's just a different world. And think of those poor souls that are stuck in their homes, what VR will be able to do for them in the future. But I don't know how Facebook's going to do it. I don't know. What's the concept of it?
We lost John's surfing.
No, I was looking at what Corinda typed. Corinda said Jeremy Corbyn's gone, but there's nothing on BBC about that.
Right. Okay. Well, listen, fellas, can I just say that I believe Norman Wisdom's just come into my house.
Okay.
How do I know that? Because I've heard him falling. And it's been fantastic. At this point, I'll have to say goodbye.
Okay.
And look forward to seeing you in the future.
Cheers, Peter. See you
Goodbye,
soon.
everybody.
Peter.
Bye. Right, so we're back to the original 2 as it was 73 weeks ago when we started this journey.
When we all started. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Replacement for drinking Guinness, I know.
Yeah.
According to Corinne, it's on Sky News. There's nothing on the BBC.
Well, Stephen and guys are here that Jeremy Corbyn is going to support the NHS. Right, okay, and I lost track now. I thought we were talking politics. We did talk politics for the first 25 minutes, which may have been our mistake, because it's not a topic that enthuses most people at the moment. So we can pretty well guarantee, in fact, what I'm going to propose to do, because I know Stephen is most interested in this, is that we'll be doing next week, hopefully Stephen will agree, a politics section around about 9:30 next Thursday morning with just Stephen and myself. And anybody wants to join us, of course. And that will be politics related. And then we'll be into the main Blabbing for Britain, which will go back to being a light-hearted place where people can exchange views freely and talk about the events in the UK. And we'll try and leave the election out of it. And hopefully that will work. Now, the other thing that's changed in the last week, John, is that I can bring you on your own on screen. But I'm not going to. I'm just saying.
I've just logged into Sky News and it doesn't say he's going. It says he's not going to play by the rules.
Well, yeah, I read that on BBC this morning. He's going to invent a new game and he's going to play that game. Come what may. Sorry, couldn't resist. Come what may.
Yes, I'm just not falling for it.
Oh, pish. After the cursing that was on earlier in the show, I think pish is probably the thing to say. To anybody who's watching at the moment, thank you. We're just going to start winding down now. This has been Blabbing for Britain, episode 73, and we have had Stephen Silk and Peter join us this morning. We're back next Thursday at 10 a.m. and we'll not be talking politics. We'll get together because we'll be over the shock of this election then by then, and it'll just be, we're not going to do a countdown. We'll just have to wait and see what happens there. But I, like you, John, just to finish up on politics, I think the Lib Dems could make great strides. Oh yeah, I think they're definitely going to bounce back because Mr. Farron is credible, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have a strange 2 months really, because in May I'm actually going to vote Conservative for the West Midlands mayor. because I think the Conservative candidate is outstanding.
Yeah.
Street, the former managing director of John Lewis, and I think the Lib Dem candidate's an absolute idiot.
We're live on Facebook, John.
I don't care. You can sue me.
You want that on the record?
I actually posted that I wasn't impressed because I saw her live 4 weeks ago, and I was totally unimpressed. And I've been a Lib Dem voter for a long time. And then in the general election, I can tell you now, provided they find a candidate for Solihull, I will be voting Lib Dem.
Well, I'm gonna come out now and say that I will be voting Lib Dem too, because they're the most credible at the moment. And Corinda, just to balance things up, Corinda is voting Labour. Yeah,
well, so vote for Labour in Solihull is like voting for the candidate that's going to come fourth or fifth.
Well, I don't. Yeah, okay, yeah, because the area in which you live, John.
Well,
now I just want to give
big Labour last time round.
I just want to give a shout out to Annie Mura and an application called repurpose.io. I just want to, before we go, say that
you love this product, don't you? You love this product, Steve.
Well, I'm going to explain why. Okay, I do. Just let me put it on the screen. I do between 6 and 8 shows a week, and all of them I enjoy. And the thing then is that normally what I would have to do is download the video, plugging up my hard drive, and then re-upload it to YouTube. With repurpose.io, I can just click a button, and this Blabbing for Britain episode 73 will be on YouTube within 10 minutes, and I won't have done a thing. And it will take with it all the text that's posted in the post itself, and it will transfer it all to YouTube swimmingly. Now, that's step one. Step two is I then went to here, which is IFTTT. Yeah. If this, then that.
Yeah.
Which has been going for quite a few years.
Right. You've written some rules.
Well, I've written some rules. And basically, as soon as the video is posted on YouTube by repurpose.io, it gets posted on my Stephen on Video business page and on my page. And as a direct result of that, as a direct result of IFT, I'd just like to say thank you, because the traffic to my YouTube channel is increasing, if not quite exponentially. It's increasing, and my subscribers have gone up in the last week, and the views are going up. In fact, my views are 25% up, just because of repurpose.io, which means I don't forget to post a video to YouTube, and IFTTT, if this then that, that's improved things.
I noticed that if you do want to download it to edit it, that there's now a little button next to each live on the Facebook page to download it by a simple button click.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, things are improving all the time, aren't they? We've just got to be in awe of all this wonderful technology that surrounds us. Right. Well, I just want to say that at 2:30 I will be back with Candy Sakai in a short chat, and then at 4:30 today, I am back with Rebel from Pakistan, and that should be an interesting show.
3 shows in a day.
I got well.
That's a very large percentage of 6 to 8 a week.
Right. Okay. Basically, I did a post and said, if you want to have a chat, then just go to Calendly and book an appointment. And Candy did. And Candy I met through Carlos Romero. And she's in Japan. She's an artist. So we're going to talk about her work for a quarter of an hour. And then you know that Rehan is very active on Facebook, and his fellow countrymen as well. Well, I did a chat with one of them earlier this week, and as a result of that, we've got a quarter of an hour show later today. So they're only quarter of an hour shows. So they're
but they're getting people moving.
They're getting people moving, and that's the thing. I'm going to help people, if I can, get started on live video. So
One more thing before we go.
Sure.
Let's remind people about LVS 17 and joining the group.
John, that's a call to action, John. We don't. Well done. Right. If you just type in LVS 17, as John said, the group that John, I, and David run. And if you want to know anything about live video, you're welcome to come and join us on LVS 17. So would you like to do the outro, John?
Well, instead of it's goodbye from me and him and him and him, it's just goodbye from me and goodbye from him or wherever he's placed.
Okay.
Yeah. So goodbye.
Bye. Thanks for watching. See you next week. And we're on a countdown to going out, and we are going.